Hi. Hi. Thank God. Okay. All right. Look, too bad nobody's interested in this topic. And anybody who's blogging, it's Clark, like Gable. No, I'm kidding. Here's the deal. My name is Clark Wolf, and I'm a food restaurant consultant, but I also write, and I also consult, and I also love that this conference is happening in New York City. I'm very active both here and in Sonoma County, Northern California. I live in a 100-year-old logger's cabin in northwestern Sonoma in the Redwoods, because that's farm country, not wine country. Farm country, wine is grown on farms. Okay? And what we love is how important it is to tell a story that makes sense. One of the reasons I live here and one of the reasons I live there as well is because it's the front lines of what's important in America, especially as it regards to food. Food is the most important thing in the world. Without it, we're dead. Everything we throw out the window ends up in lunch, right? The end. Even though a lot of it is pleasing and wonderful and magical and happy-making and satisfying. All those things are part of us as animals for the right reasons. Yeah, we're SRO. Sitting room only. Oh, hi. Down. Get out of the locker. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do today. How many of you are farmers? How many of you eat food from a farm? Yes, very good. Okay. That's a trick question. How many of you are small food producers? And I don't mean producers of small foods. I mean small-scale artisan food producers. How many of you are cooks? How many of you are chefs? How many of you are writers? How many of you are publicists? Two. Oh, wow. And everybody else is wearing black too. So here's what we're going to do today. We have 4 really talented people with a lot of background and a lot of experience, and also a lot of their own aspirations. As you can see, these are fresh-faced young folk who have accomplished a great deal, but also, I expect, will accomplish a great deal more. And so this is a conversation about how, by the way, did I miss any categories of people? Any teachers? Any retail? Beekeepers. How many beekeepers? That's small food producer. You can't get much smaller, right? Without hurting yourself. How many no, I said that. How many restaurateurs? Wonderful. And how many caterers? Oh, the restaurateurs are also caterers, guys. Otherwise, you're screwed. Here's the deal. We want to talk to some people about what they do, how they go about selecting or finding, receiving or expressing stories that relate to work like yours. We're not talking about just the hype stuff. What we're talking about is what's a real story, where does it really come from, how do they connect it, and if you're so busy doing good things in good ways, how in heaven's name can you also pay attention to getting the word out? And do that in an honorable way, in a thoughtful way. I've had a consulting firm for a number of years, and from time to time I get accused of being a publicist because my clients tend to get a lot of attention. But they do that because I try to pick things that are important and resonant in the culture, the things that want doing. And if you do things that want doing, and you do them in a way that relates publicly, that's public relations. And if you do it the nice way, nice people like this will find it. So let's start with Tressa Eaton. Wave, yes? All right, let's all applaud for Tressa Eaton. Tressa is the New York editor of Tasting Table. Do you know what that is? How many of you know what Tasting Table is? How many of you don't know what Tasting Table is? All right, she's going to explain it to you, but the short version is it's a website that talks about things that are actually good to eat and drink. Got it? Yeah, what a concept. She was, before that, she was with Serious Eats, Apartment Therapy, Martha Stewart Living, Apartment Therapy, Food and Wine, and Gourmet. It was a long afternoon. She's a Wesleyan, and she wrote a thesis on canning. You gotta love that. And she's worked on farms in Spain, Virginia, Connecticut. She's a journalist that writes for a national organization that covers good things in food, right? Yep. Good things in food, and she does it on a regular basis. So, Tressa, you start by telling us a little bit about why Tasting Table actually can work, as opposed to, you know, in blogs, right? Right. Or major stuff in newspapers and magazines. Why does Tasting Table work? Why is it relevant? What do you do?
So Tasting Table works, well, first of all, we're a positive publication. We only cover things that we love. And we have city editions in New York, Chicago, LA, DC, and San Francisco. And then we also have a top shelf edition, which comes out on Fridays, and that's for drinkers. It's 1 day a week. And then and we also do recipes. And I'm the New York editor, so I strictly work mostly New York stuff. Do a little bit of national, but mostly New York. And we work because it's one great thing a day, and it comes into your inbox. It's one great thing, something that we love. We've vetted it. We've tasted it. We've gone to the restaurant. We've gone to the farm. We've done whatever, and it's one great thing, and it comes into your inbox.
I love the idea of one great thing. When I work at a conference or do a major talk, I figure if people can go away with 1 to 3 simple ideas and thoughts, it's a total success. And the idea that they work really hard to do one good thing a day is great. All right, thank you. All right, let's go to Gabrielle. Gabrielle, pronounce it for me.
Gabriella Gershenson.
See, there you go. Sounds like a telephone answer.
26 letters.
There you go. She's a senior editor at Saveur magazine. How many of you read Saveur? How many of you don't know what Saveur is? Or get one afterwards? Really? Because it used to be kind of the, as opposed to gourmet, which was, I'm really successful and I can have anything I want. Saveur was, I'm really experienced and knowledgeable and I can have anything that's good. All right? It's gone through its ups and downs. Is that fair?
I think, yeah, that's totally
You
fair.
like that, huh? Right? Okay.
I mean, it's about looking at what is good in the world and telling people about it. So it's kind of like looking at the world around you that you might take for granted all over the world. It's a global magazine. And telling people about it, you know.
And you've worked for the New York Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Boston Globe, Edible Magazine. You've worked on WR's Food Talk, New York City's TV's Tiny. Listen to all this stuff, right? Right? And you consulted on Chef Jamie Oliver's travelogue. You told him what to pack. And you're also a judge on the Food Network 24-Hour Restaurant Battle.
It got canceled.
Got canceled. Good, it was ridiculous. And she tweeted like crazy. All right, Gabriella. So when you're looking for something, you know, Saveur is global,
Yes.
right? And you do this wonderful thing annually about 100 things we love, right? How do you go about finding those things that make it distinctly Saveur magazine?
So we have this funny balance we try to strike where on the one hand, pretension is really our enemy, which might surprise some people because it's such a specialized magazine and it's very, it really just cherishes every aspect of food preparation, from growing food to, you know, just the humble act of, you know, peeling your carrots at your table to, you know, a great chef really spinning a food item into a creation that you've never seen before. So it covers a whole spectrum, but I think that what keeps us grounded in our desire to share our enthusiasm with information in an unpretentious way is it's really about context, you know. It's the magazine is always in a search for authenticity, which I realize is a tricky term, but what it really means is, you know, the story of great food can be told with a hot dog, it can be told with, you know, a trip to Le Bernardin. You know, great food exists in your kitchen, it exists in your memories. It's really it's a very large embrace. We cover many subjects that people just would never dream of covering. Like I just wrote a story for the April issue about poppy seeds. No, I can't think of maybe like a Gastronomica or an Art of Eating maybe, but I can't think of a magazine that, you know, is on the stand at Hudson News that would do a story about poppy seeds. Or I did a story about baked beans. You know, just really like a 1,200 word story, not like a 50, you know, word lit about baked beans and about, you know, the heritage of this food. So, you know, in terms of Saveur and what we offer, I think that we really try to view food as the great big thing that it is. It's history, it's innovation, it's love, it's you know, it's everything, and I think that's sort of our big aspiration, to keep it fresh and keep it real.
You know, you're sitting down writing notes, right? Thinking, what do I do that I could pitch to Saveur? That can be pretty overwhelming, right? So now let's talk to Francis.